Hello, everyone. Today is Friday, February 26th, and I'm so glad you're here today and you're watching this video. We're going to work through your lesson today. Like every day, we have an attendance question, and since we're just watching on video, just to take a moment of reflection. You don't have to interact with the slides. It's just a moment of reflection for yourself. Would you rather be lost in the deep sea, so like under the ocean, or would you rather be lost in deep space like an astronaut? Yeah, under the sea or under above the clouds. Okay, just quickly, and then we can move on. Again, is today Friday? Yay. I just want to do a couple quick reminders. I know we had an announcement the other day, but just if I know this is just a video, but if this is just a whole reminder for any of your classes, if you're on Zoom and you're a virtual student, it's highly recommended to turn on your cameras. The more likely, more successful, like, or I don't know, your higher the grades that you'll get, it's more likely if you turn on your cameras and engage that your grades might be higher because you're engaged in class and you might have asked a question and all your other I might have answered it or your other classmates might have answered it and we've talked about it. It's great to see your face and interact. It's not mandatory, but it's highly recommended. Same with have you completed all your assignments? If you need help about the assignments, please reach out. We're here for you. I don't want to see you fail. I want to lift you up and see you succeed. Okay. Today's agenda. We already got done with our attendance question, so great. Then we'll move on after this to today in Texas history. Then we'll do our warm-up question, and then we'll have a project today. Same as any day, it's just a project that you'll complete in class over Reconstruction and the amendments. Yeah. And we'll focus on the 13th, 14th, and 15th amendments that came out of the Reconstruction period. These help to build civil rights and civil liberties for African Americans and just civil rights for Americans in a whole. Yeah. And again, if you have questions, please send us an email or send us a message. Or if you're in person on Zoom, just raise your hand and be like, "Hey, I need help on this," or "Hey, what y'all think about this?" Today, Texas history. We're gonna focus on the Supreme Court. A black activist named Heman Sweat sought admission to a segregated university in 1946, specifically February 26th, 1946. So he was accompanied by a delegation from the NAACP, and he met with University President Theophilus S. Painter and a couple other university officials. And he was like, "Hey, can I become a lawyer? Can I study to be a lawyer at the University of Texas at Austin?" University of Texas at Austin. So he presented his formal request, but the facilities are not equal. So the majority of, well, even the board and the majority of students at UT Law School was white, while Heman Sweat was African American. He was black. So he and the NAACP challenged Supreme Court, and it became a landmark decision and cases that struck down one of the many separate but equal educational facilities. So take a moment, like there's a lot of Supreme Court cases that struck down the separate but equal doctrine, like Brown versus Board. I think that's the only one I can think of on the top of my head. There's several of them. Plessy versus Ferguson is one that I think instituted the separate but equal policy, and then Brown versus Board was the one that struck it down. Yeah, but just to conclude, Sweat did finally register and become. He studied to be a lawyer at UT in the 1950s, and he became a pretty successful lawyer. He's a very smart man, um, and he just became a successful lawyer despite going through. And he went through the separate but equal doctrine. Moving on, this is just a highlight from what we learned from yesterday. I just want you guys to take a moment and just answer, what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? I know yesterday we tried to break down the terms, the words emancipation and proclamation. You can do that again today, but what we did on our ed puzzle the other day and our resources, I just want you guys to think back about, what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Who did it free? How did it free people? Where did it free people is a specific one. Did it free just a section of the country, or did it free everyone? Take a moment and then I'll let y'all know. The Emancipation Proclamation only freed African Americans or slaves in the Confederacy. It did not free the whole Union. It did not free slaves in the Western territories. It was only purpose was to free slaves in the Confederacy as a tactic. Continuing on to our warm-up questions, I just want to ask again what we did on our ed puzzle. Did anything surprise you about Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln is a very notable figure in American history. Very if he's hand in hand when you pull up the word the Civil War. He's one of the main figures into it. So, did anything surprise you about him? This quote is from the other day that was in the video. If I could save the Union, the United States, without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could do it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. So that's very surprising for most people, that Abraham Lincoln just he only freed the slaves for the war effort. One last question, and then we can move on to our Schoology, is was Lincoln an abolitionist, or was he just anti-slavery? So up here, I have the definitions of anti-slavery and abolition. Anti-slavery is just to end slavery, and abolition is to emancipate enslaved African Americans and grant civil rights. Anti-slavery, you're just against slavery. You're just against the institution of slavery. While abolition works towards people and the group, and towards the issue, and like for the issue and the holistic um, rights and liberties. So was Lincoln an abolitionist? Lincoln wasn't an abolitionist. He worked with abolitionists during the Civil War and before the Civil War, but um, he was for the country, and he just was focused on anti-slavery. That was his position. He was anti-slavery. And again, if you have any questions, let us know. But I'm going to move on to Schoology. So if you go on Schoology, it'll be here. For our Amendments virtual poster project is today. So you will be able to represent the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. I'll walk you through it. So this is an example of what you would, a template of what you would do. So you'll have the amendment up here. There's a couple pictures that you'll be able to put, and then like the definition or what does the represent. Moving on, some steps again. Amendments project, define, create, add a picture. Define each amendment. Create a virtual poster for each amendment. Add a definition, description, and that just is on the yellow speech bubble that you saw on the right. And then lastly, add a picture for amendment. Google it. You can Google the amendment type and just see what pictures you would like to, like if you were to show somebody else this, like a friend, like this is what the 13th Amendment is. Look, and I'll explain it to you. And then pick a picture that'll help present to someone and get your point across. So first you'll have to explain each amendment, just like a little definition, like this is like brainstorming. So just define it, each, that. 13th Amendment, this is just an example. You put pictures here, and then you define it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, put pictures here and define it. And put pictures here and define it. That's it. These are just the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. That's pretty much it. Reach out if you need any help. And I think that's all for me. We've been covering Reconstruction and the Civil War this week, and we're about to wrap it up. If you have any difficulties on the project or things that like, did I do the definition right? Or am I doing this right? Please reach out. We're here for you. But that's all I can say for today. I hope everyone has a great day today and finishes their projects. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. Bye.